Hey guys, happy Saturday everyone. Hopefully everyone's having a fantastic day, night, evening, or whatever it is whenever you guys are watching this video. Hello guys. As per usual, the weekends are a little bit more dry when it comes to restocks and restocking news. We may still have a few videos up on the channel throughout the weekend, but the major thing over here is we actually have some fun new stuff I want to go and talk about. Basically, we've actually seen confirmed that Xbox actually has been outselling all the other consoles such as the PS5 and the Switch. And I also want to go and kind of give a touch on that as well, because I just think it's very interesting and kind of fun information to talk about and dissect as well. As always, guys, if you guys are still trying to go and find a PlayStation, we also have the Amazon link for it down below. We also have the giveaway going on if you guys would like to subscribe. If you guys want to enter, all you have to do is go subscribe for the actual PS5 giveaway itself and put on the notifications. We've been mainly doing a lot of the restocking on the channel itself, but we also work in some fun new stuff every now and then as well. Also, we do have the Twitter and Twitch stream link down below. And of course, Webull, if you guys sign up and deposit $100 on Webull, you guys get $25 for free for the affiliate link itself, and also with Coinbase as well. You guys buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency and you guys go and get free Bitcoin as well. And always, guys, just hope you're gonna have a good, lovely weekend, happy Super Bowl weekend as well. Not Sappy Bowl, Super Bowl weekend as well. So there's a few things we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna go and showcase, ramble, and just kind of discuss. If you guys would like to, you guys could always leave your comments down below and your thoughts. I'm sure they would probably align pretty much with mine as well, but I always love hearing them and seeing all these comments. More so, especially on these videos, because I feel like everyone's a little bit more nicer than on the restock ones. The restock ones, everyone wants their consoles. I totally get it, but on these types of videos, like, it's always kind of fun to kind of talk about the topics and kind of hear your thoughts. So there's two major things I want to go and show you guys up on here when it comes to this actual discussion. Number one, I saw this actually posted up on Reddit quite a bit, so I figured I want to go discuss this and talk about this. So over here, we have Christopher Dring, which I believe actually has association with the actual game magazine, so he's very familiar with the actual gaming industry itself. And he states, in the UK last month, the Xbox Series S and X, which I'm always surprised on because the S, I feel like I don't really like the S that much, but the X, very good console, was the best-selling console. That's 3 different best-selling consoles in the UK over the last 3 months. So in November, it was the PlayStation 5, which I'm sure you guys would all probably assume. But the more so surprising stuff on both of this is, number one, that in December, the Switch was the most sold console. Now, there's also supply issues, and we'll get into that as maybe a big reason why. But on the third end is that it's basically been every single major console has been a major seller, which I think is overall really good for gaming. I love that, especially because I do think every console has its own place. We all kind of know that the Switch is more so based on a nice family console. If they're younger, a lot of the games are, rated more PG for the kids out there. And it does kind of make a little bit of sense when it comes to that for Christmas, because typically, a lot of people are buying Christmas presents. They're trying to get their kids something, or maybe the kids are just bored either from, the pandemic or just Christmas break from school. And I think that's very wholesome that even the Switch, even 3 years after the fact, is still one of the top selling consoles and the demand is so high. But the other more cool and kind of cool stuff is that the Xbox actually was one of the better selling consoles in the UK. And it's kind of cool. I think it's very, very intriguing. So there's also a few little mix-ons too as well that I kind of want to go and touch on before we ramble on into this topic and my thoughts and overall is I do want to go and say the overall views for the actual sales, like all the actual numbers and statistics for the actual sales for both the PlayStation and the Xbox have actually been favoring the PlayStation 5. I'm sure most of you guys can agree, especially because I am more of a PlayStation 5 restocking channel. So overall, throughout the world, the Xbox Series X and S are still technically behind actual around 1 million units. We have this article over here from Shack News as well. I'll link these all down below. So it's very, very intriguing to go and see that even in specific regions, you do have certain consoles, such as even the Switch or the Xbox, still outselling the PlayStation, even though, and I'm sure you guys can all agree, is that the PlayStation still has such a high, massive demand to actually all the consumers who want to go and buy it. So we can kind of go through quick little bits of these actual articles, and I'm going to go and probably touch on my opinion, and I do kind of agree on the opinions too as well. We saw, but I'd also love to hear your thoughts as well. I just kind of find it's more interesting news to go and showcase. So the article starts saying by last year, we saw a launch of the new consoles hardware from both Microsoft and Sony, so the Xbox and the Series S, following years of rumors and speculation. In early November 2020, each company pushed its new devices onto the market, and neither has spent more than a few moments occupying shelf space. I would even see it in shelves besides maybe Myers. That's even the crazy part. As customers snap them on up in a flash. There is now a report that Microsoft was able to sell through nearly 3.5 million next-gen consoles since launch, which is astronomical because that's only been around 2-3 months at this point, kind of depending on if you kind of the pre-orders or not, which is insane. Now, it is technically 1 million units behind Sony's PlayStation 5, But as we even saw in the previous tweet, there are certain regions that are actually more so favoring up the Xbox Series X. Now, when I go and say the word favoring, I think a major thing I also would like to note, and it's also mentioned as well as this article too, and I do agree with it, is I do think a lot of it does kind of come down to more the actual supply themselves. So let's go put it this way. If you have the PlayStation and you can sell 1 million PlayStations and they go and instantly buy the second they go on shelves or online, you still only sold 1 million PlayStations. And we also know the UK has been very dry as well when it comes to the actual restocks, especially for the PlayStations. And now what if you had the same thing where you had Xbox? Xbox had 1.5 million consoles in the UK, but they instantly sold at a slower pace, but they still sold overall just because the stock and demand is there. Now, I feel like some of these numbers would be more intriguing to go and look for just a better number comparison, as in, let's say there is 10 million PS5s and 7.5 million of them sold, and then the Xbox, we had 10 million Xboxes and maybe 5 million sold. Or it's also the overall rate of how, like, the long-term numbers, and I think those are more important to look at in, say, a year, 2 or 3 years, once the production issues are more so solved and the actual supply is able to go more so match the demand. But overall, we have been kind of seeing, as we've been seeing these articles, that as of even now still, Sony has produced more PlayStations, but the demand for both are very, very high. And I think a lot of us would agree that the overall, like, global demand for the PlayStation, I think, is a little bit higher. Not trying to be biased or try to go and, like, start a console war. I personally think both are awesome. I think the Xbox is great, especially with the Game Pass and all the acquisitions they've been getting. I think there's going to be a lot of really good games and exclusives, and overall, the Game Pass is a very good value in terms of how many games you guys can get, especially with you getting AAA games as well, included in the Game Pass. But I do also want to go and say, and it's maybe a little bit biased, because I am a PlayStation Restock channel as of the current moment, and I have actually had very biasness towards Sony itself. I do really, really love the Sony exclusives, the God of Wars, Horizons, Ratchet and Clanks, even Spyros. Why can't we have another Spyro, please, at some point? So I want to say I do favor a little bit more on the Sony in terms of next-gen stuff. But I think overall utility, I do think the Xbox seems as it has a really nice niche and fits really well, especially if you're not a PC gamer. So we've seen a few of these other comments too as well when we can actually see the figures coming on through. But it's very, very, very insane that even he says that Microsoft's next-gen consoles sold slightly over 1 million fewer units than the PS5. Sony offers its sales figures for the PS5, by the way, of its Q3 2020 earnings reports to investors. So that's very, very insane, just in terms of the overall like numbers, I guess, being showcased over here. And then both next-gen consoles are based on similar hardware, which is very true. But I do think, and this is actually confirmed, as of now, you guys can leave your comments down below if I'm wrong. I do believe as of now, the Xbox does have slightly better hardware, but what we've been kind of seeing is that the PS5 has slightly better optimization. We'll definitely kind of see a lot more of those, how those will either impact the future performances of these consoles in 2 or 3 years as games kind of get more developed specifically for these consoles, and AAA game performances as well. So each of them uses CPUs and GPUs bought by AMD and that are manufactured by TSMC in Taiwan. TSMC is the world's premier supplier of chips for the tech industry, and like most companies were affected by the COVID pandemic, both Microsoft and Sony were likely shipping consoles as fast as they can be manufactured, which I think we've been seeing that. Typically, they have around like a 1 to 2 week recycle period where they go and find out more stock when it comes to the actual restocks themselves. So overall, we have been seeing them trying their best to actually go and produce as many consoles as possible. But once again, it's very intriguing to go and see kind of like the original topic of this video is on how the Xbox actually still is overselling in certain regions. So I'm not sure if that's just more so Microsoft specifically picking certain regions, aka we want to make sure the UK has stock, we want to make sure the stock is everywhere, or on the reverse where maybe actually PlayStation, we had a lot of rumors speculating that the actual PlayStation themselves were trying their best to go and focus a lot in, say, America right before the Christmas holidays to kind of go incentivize buying as well right before Christmas and the holidays overall. And now since then have been supplying slightly less and more so focusing on other regions such as, you know, Japan, Thailand, India, UK, Canada, etc. So it's very kind of curious to also go and see the marketing aspects of it, where maybe at some point, maybe just certain regions are trying to go and push more certain consoles to kind of go build up that actual overall region base, especially when both consoles are very hard to find. One main thing I've kind of noticed too as well, a lot of major people are also saying, hey, I can't get a PlayStation, I'm gonna go buy a PC. Or hey, I can't go get a PlayStation, I'm gonna just go get an Xbox. So we kind of actually do see that somewhat being apparent when it comes to all these major places, because sometimes people just do kind of give on up and they just go for the next best thing. We see a lot with cars, we see a lot with houses, we see a lot with pretty much everything. So I think that actually might be a valid marketing strategy that maybe Microsoft can go push for. And as I mentioned, it's very intriguing that the Microsoft actually has been outselling the PlayStations themselves with their Xbox Series S and X's, even in places like the UK. But yeah, basically a lot of these places you guys can kind of go and see is that they still are having production issues, but they've been slowly trying to go figure out workarounds and keep on trying to keep up with the actual supply and demand that everyone needs for the actual Xbox and PlayStation themselves. But I thought this was kind of a very fun, interesting topic to go and talk about when it comes to the actual sales, overall sales. Once again, we do kind of have it confirmed that Sony is overselling from the actual Xbox itself, probably more so from a production-wise itself as well. But I think it's very intriguing that certain regions and demographics may be more so favoring one rather than the other, even if it's not just based on pure either game preference or performance or even brand like loyalty, but more so just maybe based on pure just availability at the current time. And once again, it's kind of interesting that the Switch as well was still up there 3 years after all of its release. And once again, I think that's just more so based on the Christmas release itself. And I think that kind of makes a lot of sense too as well with all the kids, as I mentioned. But I thought that was kind of a fun little thing to go and talk about. You guys can let me know your thoughts down below or any comments as well. As I mentioned, we don't have as much restocking news for the weekend, but I will maybe have a few little videos up for you guys to go be on the lookout for and go and see. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I appreciate you guys all for existing. You guys are all amazing and cool. I hope you guys all have a good rest of your days, nights, and evenings. And of course, if you guys are going to be celebrating the Super Bowl, make sure you guys are safe, have a fun time, have some good food, and be safe and overall. We'll have a few more videos all throughout the channel throughout today. I appreciate you guys all so much for existing and watching. All of our sellout links are linked down below. Amazon to go check for the PlayStation 5. Subscribe, put the notifications on with the giveaway itself, as well the Twitter and Twitch stream. Link down below if you guys ever want to come say hi and hang on out, talk games, or do whatever. And of course, the Weeble, you guys deposit $100. You guys go and get $25 for free with 4 free stocks. And Coinbase as well, you guys go and get, if you guys buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency, you guys go and get free Bitcoin as well with those affiliate links linked down below. Love you guys all. I appreciate you guys all. And thank you guys all so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one.